He swore to remain completely silent and never fight again after his past. Destroyed the person he loved. Transferring to a coastal school run by violent bullies makes peace impossible.
Congratulations, you have gained a free phone.
Every gang in the city targets him. Keeping quiet becomes a death sentence. Cruel delinquents and corrupt bosses stage illegal matches for profit. If he steps back, his friends pay the price in chains. What follows is a relentless war through alleyways and fighting rings. One silent student takes on an entire syndicate alone. He will shatter every fighter in this town. It all starts on an ordinary morning outside Gyeonggi. The year is 2017. A coastal town outside Gyeonggi. An orange cat watches the students walk by below. Two guys gossip in the alley. Right behind them is Jijeon. He is the new transfer student. The dark-haired guy explains the catch. The new kid does not talk. It is not just quiet. It is a deep, heavy silence. A white car speeds down the narrow street. It accelerates straight toward our guy. He does not flinch. He just glares. The driver slams the brakes and screams in panic. The car stops inches away. The driver sticks his head out and loses his mind. He asks if this kid has a death wish. Jijeon just stares back with calm blue eyes, dead silent. The two students watch from the sidewalk. They wonder why he stopped. Then they look down. The orange cat is rubbing against his ankle, right next to the tire. The angry driver grabs Bro by the collar. He accuses him of insurance fraud. Jijeon remains completely unbothered. The dark-haired student is amazed. Not a single word even now. The bowl-cut student crouches to pet the cat. He assumes the new kid has some disease that kills him if he speaks. A girl named Yena runs over. She asks Jijeon if he is okay. She steps between them. The driver claims it was an obvious scam tactic. Yena bows a full 90 degrees. She apologizes loudly on his behalf. She clasps her hands and begs. The driver finally backs down. The dark-haired guy watches. Yena is the queen of their class. She just saved the silent weirdo. The bowl-cut student holds the cat. The cat snarls. Claws extend. It shreds his face. The cat lands gracefully and runs away. The student screams in pain. A girl with long black hair and red eyes walks past. This is Ariam. Blood drips down his nose. He waves awkwardly and says good morning. She walks away without a single glance. The dark-haired student notes her cold aura. Sungmin thinks it is attractive. She is the queen of their class. Singmin wonders if she is just a gentle introvert. Wait, she does not talk either. His friend laughs. That means she is just like the weird transfer student. Sungmin yells at him for comparing them. Ahead of them, Ariam walks quietly. Yena and Jijeon follow behind. Inside the noisy classroom, our boy sits in total silence. Gray silhouettes chat around him.
Snap.
Yena and a friend stand by his desk. They just took a photo of him. It has been a month since he transferred. He does this meditation routine every day. Yena shows him the photo. She says he can delete it if he hates it. Jijeon keeps his head down. He decides not to reject her. She helped him earlier. Yena smiles softly. She thanks him for the permission.
So Taksu class bully.
The door slides open. A tall, muscular bully walks in with an unbuttoned shirt. Classmates freeze. Taksu approaches the desk while Yena chats. A thick hand grabs Jijeon by the wrist. Taksu grins down at him. He asks why only girls hang around him. Taksu lifts the slender wrist. He mocks him for being a little boy. He squeezes the hand. He says it is totally a girl hand and he might fall for him. Jijeon looks up. His eyes are dead and cold. Yena looks at him with pure annoyance. She tells him to cut it out. Taksu ignores her completely. He asks why she skipped their karaoke date. His face darkens. He claims he is her boyfriend and she kept him waiting. He kicks his feet up onto the desk and makes himself comfortable. Outside on the paved court, the boys are playing soccer. Yena stands beside our guy with an ice cream bar. She complains about the heat. She points a portable fan right at his face. Jijeon stares off into the distance. She just laughs at his total silence. Back on the court, Taksu calls for a pass. The soccer ball absolutely obliterates his face. A curly-haired student holds his hands up in sheer panic. It was an accident. Taksu claps his hands together and forces a wide smile. He tells them to keep playing, but he shoots a venomous glare across the yard toward Jijeon. Later that day, our boy is trying to nap on a wooden bench. A door gets kicked open. The curly-haired student begs for his life. Half his hair is already shaved off. Taksu approaches with buzzing electric clippers. He backs the terrified kid against the rooftop fence. The kid drops to his knees. He grovels on the pavement while Taksu grins down at him. One of the cronies turns around and spots Jijeon sitting up on the bench. Taksu mocks him for eating lunch all alone. He tells the new kid to watch him create a masterpiece. Clumps of black hair fall to the concrete. Taksu pulls the kid up by his head. The haircut is completely ruined. 2 tiny pigtails sit on a shaved scalp. The bullies laugh hysterically. Jijan just stares blankly. Taksu steps closer with the clippers. He asks why the new kid is not laughing. He gets right in his space with a manic grin. He taunts him to speak up if he does not want a haircut too. Silence means consent. He moves the clippers right next to his temple. His face is shrouded in dark shadow. He tells him to watch his back. Jijan mentally warns him not to cross the line. Taksu suddenly pulls back. He claims the girls would make too much fuss if he ruined that pretty face. The bullies turn around and leave. The humiliated student picks up his phone from the ground. He takes pictures of the terrible haircut for evidence. He looks back over his shoulder. He asks why Jijan did not laugh at him. He realizes this transfer student is totally different from the others. He thanks him and walks away. Dark rain clouds gather over the school. Students leave with their umbrellas. Arum walks under a purple umbrella with a melancholic gaze. Argai walks completely drenched in the pouring rain. Yena calls out to him. 2 bullies block their path. They say Taksu wants a word. Taksu sits on a ledge in a dark alley surrounded by umbrellas. He smirks down at the drenched transfer student. Yena steps in front to protect him. Taksu tosses a lit smartphone onto the wet pavement right at their feet. It is Yena lock screen. It displays the photo of Jijan. He admits he might be acting petty, but he demands an explanation. Yena yells that it means nothing. It was just a good photo. She urges our boy to leave before things get violent. Taksu sneers. He complains that all the girls side with this bastard. Yena snaps back. She tells the loser to stop crossing the line. Taksu backhands her across the face with full force. She hits the wet asphalt. Jijan watches her fall right in front of him. A drop of blood splatters across his cheek. His eyes widen. A sharp ringing noise echoes. His eye glows a bright white cyan. Taksu stands over the girl. He asks why she is betraying her own boyfriend. He gets right in the transfer student face. He assumes they are dating behind his back. He screams that he will just give her away if that is what they want. Jijan just glares through his wet hair. Absolutely zero fear. Yena cries on the ground. She realizes a guy who throws parties with other girls is no boyfriend at all. She looks up coldly. She tells him they are officially over. Taksu flies into a blind rage. Red aura crackles across the transfer student eye. Taksu hauls Yena up by her collar. He screams that she does not have permission to end anything. He winds back his fist for another heavy strike. A hand reaches out and catches his wrist mid-swing. Jijan holds the arm back with an iron grip. Taksu stares in disbelief. He assumes this means they really are together. He swings his free fist with everything he has. It connects right on the jaw. A massive shockwave bursts through the rain. A blonde woman screams his name in a dark memory. Dark energy flares up around his glowing eyes. His sneaker digs into the ground. He stops his backward slide instantly. He drops into a low stance. Taksu charges forward with purple aura swirling around his fist. He stops holding back. He buries a straight punch deep into the chest. Jijan absorbs it completely. He does not even flinch. Red energy crackles off his shirt. Taksu stares in absolute horror. Our boy winds back his arm. A lightning-fast hook shatters the bully jaw. Taksu drops to his knees, spitting blood on the asphalt. The cronies freeze in terror. Jijan leaps into the air and drops a crushing axe kick right on his head. The 2 cronies finally snap out of it and charge. He spins mid-air and plants a flying knee straight into the first guy face. The second crony swings a heavy metal pipe. Jijan ducks under it and delivers a clean uppercut. A high kick slams the guy backward into the fence. He slumps over unconscious. Sungmin watches the whole thing from behind a wall. Jijan looms over Taksu in the pouring rain. He drops down and unleashes a devastating downward punch. Taksu screams as the beating continues. He pummels him mercilessly against the wet ground. Yena wraps her arms around him from behind. She cries and begs him to stop. Lightning flashes across the dark sky. The dark red glow finally recedes from his skin. He pants heavily. He calmly pulls his phone from his pocket. He turns his back and walks away without a single word. Singmin sits terrified against the brick wall. He realizes this guy is an absolute lunatic. He can feel a deep, heavy darkness radiating from him. The silhouette fades completely into the mist. Earlier that day, Ariam stands in the rain. She hears the shouting from the alley. She stands motionless under her purple umbrella. She bolts toward the noise. She peeks cautiously around the brick corner. A brutal punch lands in the middle of the flooded alley. She watches him deliver an upward knee strike. The dark aura recedes from his body. He leans heavily against a metal door trying to catch his breath. He turns around. Ariam stands right there. She looks at him with soft red eyes. She reaches out and holds her umbrella over him to block the pouring rain. She extends her phone to communicate. He simply lowers his head, steps out from under the shelter, and walks away. She watches him disappear alone into the downpour. The next morning, students notice Taksu and his boys are missing. The transfer student is absent too. Yena sits at her desk with bandages on her cheek. Across town in an industrial hideout, a new problem brews. Kang Doyle rests his hands on his knees. He cannot believe Taksu is in the hospital. Singmin stands nervously before the gang. Doyle wants to know the condition. Sungmin reports that he will be in the hospital for a while and refuses visitors out of embarrassment. Doyle glares. He asks how many got beat up. 4. Dark energy flares around him. Taksu is big. What kind of guy did this? Sungmin explains it was a mysterious transfer student named Jijan who never speaks. Doyle calls it a fucking embarrassment. 4 people lost to one unknown mute. A buzzcut gang member grabs Sungmin by the collar. He demands to know why he is perfectly fine. Sungmin stammers that he hid because 5-on-1 felt too cheap. He gets slapped across the head for that excuse. Doyle grins with dark excitement. He wants to know the school. Nobody knows his background. The buzzcut punches Sungmin to the floor. He demands a physical description, something to identify him on sight. Sungmin admits the guy is model skinny handsome and has a strange charisma. He gets punched in the jaw again for sounding like a fanboy. Doyle rests his face in his hand. A silent, secretive fighter. He calls it a rare item. He stands up, thrilled. He wants it. The next day, students arrive at school under a violence-free banner. Singmin peeks nervously from behind a locker cabinet. He remembers Doyle threatening him to look into this guy. He dreads every second of this mission. Our boy opens his shoe locker. An old smartphone sits inside. It lights up and vibrates. He picks it up.
Congratulations, you've gained a free phone. It's an old phone, but you can still use X-Talk. We'll listen to any of your worries.
Sungmin panics, thinking he got spotted. Jijan sets the phone down on top of the cabinet and walks away. A girl holding a purple phone walks past in the opposite direction. She blushes while looking at her screen. It is Ariam. Singmin is totally confused. Why would he leave a phone behind? He lunges forward to inspect the abandoned device. It is an old model and completely unlocked. A girl running down the hall collides right into him. He drops the phone and slams into the lockers. The girl snatches the phone off the floor and runs away. He yells after her in frustration. He grabs his head. Things are going terribly. Meanwhile, Yena walks down the hall with a friend. The friend accuses her of dazing out and thinking about the transfer student. She points down the hall to trick her. It is actually him. He is standing right there. A soft blush spreads across her cheeks. She shoves her posters into her friend's hands and bolts. She throws her arms around his neck in the middle of the hallway. The classmates watch with wide eyes. She cries and says how worried she was. She rests her head on his shoulder. She swears she will never forget that he saved her. He holds her gently and whispers thanks. Sungmin watches from the corner, absolutely consumed by jealousy. He furiously types notes into his phone. Late to school. Liked by girls. Still silent. After school, Jijan walks down the sidewalk alone. 2 gang members on motorcycles pull up abruptly. A guy in a black mask smirks. He says the kid stands out a mile away. The other guy on a scooter holds up a photo for confirmation. They block the path. Our boy stops and looks at them calmly. The glasses guy asks if he is Jijan. The total silence gives him away. He gestures to the back of the scooter. They came to pick him up. He asks if he has heard of Kang Doyle. He is a local legend. Top 3 in their school. Everyone in the city knows him. The masked guy insults their school. He calls it a gathering place for losers. Jijan ignores them and turns away. The biker tells him not to be scared. It is just an invitation for now. He will not die. They yell at him to get on. He keeps walking. The masked guy reaches out and grabs his backpack strap. They threaten to break his legs if he does not comply. Jijan slips his arm right out of the strap. He leaves the bag in the biker hand and walks into an alley. The biker drops the bag in anger. Words will not be enough. They accelerate down the street in pursuit. The scooter guy speeds into the narrow brick path. He crashes headfirst into the wall. The masked guy roars past him on the yellow motorcycle. He chases our boy up a set of outdoor concrete stairs. The bike launches off the steps into the air. Jijan winds up a kick. He launches a massive green trash bag straight at the airborne rider. It bursts directly across his face mid-flight. The bike flips upside down. He crashes heavily right onto his partner on the stairs below. They tumble backward down the concrete together. The yellow bike slams onto the pavement beside them. They scramble back to their feet, groaning in pain. They rush up the stairs to find him. The alleyways are a maze. He vanished. They spot blue hair ahead and tackle the student to the ground. They grab his collar, screaming threats. It is just an innocent bystander. They release him in sheer frustration. The masked guy swears he will get his hands on him. High above them, Jijan stands tall on the rooftop edge. He glances down calmly and walks away. Back at the hideout, Doyle sits on his throne. He cannot believe the invitation was rejected. The two bikers grovel on the floor, making excuses about slippery alleys. Daesik kicks the glasses guy in the stomach for failing a 2-on-1. Doyle smirks. He is starting to look forward to this even more. He asks Sungmin what he found out. Singmin sweats nervously, holding out his phone. Doyle reads the pathetic notes. Late, liked by girls, silent. He glares. This is not intel. Daesik grabs Singmin by the hair and slams him to the floor. He screams at the useless crew. Doyle smiles coldly. He tells Singmin to lead the target to the back gate tomorrow. He puts Daesik in charge of bringing him in. Dark aura flares around his body. He wants to meet him for sure. Singmin walks home in absolute panic. Why did it have to be him? The next day, Sungmin shoves a friend away in the hallway. He freezes as Jijan walks past. He runs up with a canned grape drink, forcing a friendly smile. Our boy just stares at him. Singmin babbles nervously. He claims he is not with Taksu and wants to resolve any misunderstanding. He says watching Taksu get beaten up was actually refreshing. He thrusts the drink directly into his hand. Jiwon walks right past without taking it. Sungmin stresses out. Luring him to the back gate is going to be impossible. At lunch, Jijan sleeps at his desk. He stands up while Sungmin watches from the doorway. He carries a paper bag to the roof. A green smartphone rests on the wooden slats of a bench.
12:42. Notification message. Eating bread today too?
On the other side of the fence, Aryam holds her phone with blushing cheeks. Our boy sits on the bench and picks up the device.
You always eat alone on the roof. Actually, I also eat by myself, you know. I saw you sometimes on the rooftop, so I wanted to talk to you. I'm on the opposite side though.
A hand reaches up over the ledge against the blue sky. She waves at him. He watches silently.
Sorry, it's still not easy for me to meet people. I heard that you don't talk at all. Honestly, I'm also the same. Why aren't you talking?
He holds the phone without typing back. Someone shouts his name from behind. Singmin bursts through the door, waving dramatically. What a coincidence. He approaches with a plastic bag full of bread. He sits right next to him on the bench with a broad fake smile. Aram peeks over the ledge and watches them. Singmin eats his bread and starts choking dramatically. He forces tears out of his eyes while chewing. He cries that he only hung out with bullies so he would not be an outsider. He begs to be friends. Two outsiders sticking together. He is incredibly proud of his fake tears. Jijan stands up calmly and takes his lunch to leave. Singmin panics. All his effort is walking away. He drops to the floor and desperately grabs his leg. He looks up tearfully and demands friendship. Jijan pulls his leg free and walks out, shutting the metal door.
3:48. Daesik. Hey, what are you doing? Are you messing with me? What are you doing? Why don't you bring that kid with you?
After school, Sungmin bites his nails in dread. He has to get him to the back gate now. He bolts out of the classroom to secure the target. He spots him sitting alone by a window. He wonders why the guy is shooting a solo commercial in the sunlight. His phone vibrates violently.
Daesik, how long do I have to wait? You motherfucker.
Singmin stammers his name from the doorway. He puts on a sweat-covered act. He claims he told his mom he finally made a friend. He begs him to come to the market nearby just to show his face. He pleads for just one moment of his time. Jijan gives him a cold, uninterested glance. Singmin rages internally at the rejection. He grabs his hands frantically. They are friends, right? He leads him down the hall past Aryam, who watches quietly. He guides him toward the back gate path. Singmin feels a pang of guilt. If you are naive in this neighborhood, you cannot survive. He discreetly texts Daesik behind his back.
Currently passing by the back gate.
Daesik steps out from the alley corner to intercept them. He throws a sudden heavy straight punch. Jijan leans back with lightning reflexes and evades it. Daesik grabs his backpack strap mid-air. He pulls him back by the collar with a threatening smirk. He warns him not to fall over too easily. He winds back his arm. The fist smashes brutally into the face with a violent impact explosion. He taunts him. His skills were highly exaggerated. Jijan suddenly drives a powerful front kick straight into his stomach. The immense power blasts Daesik backward onto the ground. Our boy lands cleanly in a low crouch. The green phone drops to the floor. He glares up with sharp, focused eyes. Daesik leaps back up and swings a massive downward fist. It smashes into the pavement, shattering the concrete. Jijan dodges the impact by leaping away from the grate. The bully glares with murder in his eyes. He swears to end it on the next turn. Jijan drops into a stance. Dark aura smoke curls around his arms. Daesik scoffs at his weak body. He thinks he can handle the weight difference. Singmin hides around the corner, sweating in guilt. Daesik charges at full speed. Jijeon swings his heavy backpack to intercept the charge. The bag cushions the heavy blow. Textbooks fly into the air. Daesik laughs. Using a bag as a shield is smart. Jijeon pulls the strap taut between his hands. The bully rushes forward again. Tricks will not work twice. Our boy ducks low under the punch. He swings the strap right around the ankle. He yanks the strap with both hands to break his balance. He pulls upward, flipping the massive guy completely upside down mid-air. Jijeon leaps high above the falling body. He drives a kick straight into the face. He winds back his leg and drops a crushing axe kick. The heel smashes the jaw with shattering force. The head slams hard into the pavement. Singmin watches in utter terror. He just beat Daesik. The bully groans on the ground with a bloodied face. Jijeon turns his back and walks away. He goes to pick up his dropped phone. Daesik suddenly lunges from behind and tackles him by the waist. Jijeon spins and kicks him in the chest to create space. But Daesik dives onto the floor and snatches the green phone first. He smirks maliciously. He can tell this item is very important. He stands up bleeding. He just has to take him to Doyle. He snaps his fingers. The glasses guy speeds into the alley on his scooter. Daesik hops onto the back holding the phone. He tells him to come to Sakegil Park if he wants it. The welcome party is already prepared. Singmin runs up crying and pretending to panic. He yells that they took the phone and will steal all his personal info. He urges him to hurry to the park. Internally, Sungmin smirks. He did his job perfectly. Jijeon turns around and walks right past him. Singmin is shocked. He is actually going into a trap for a phone. Sneakers step onto the wooden stairs of Sakegil Park. Delinquents wait at the top smoking cigarettes. A massive crowd of gang members is gathered in the pavilion. Our boy stands tall facing the entire crew alone. Kang Doyle smirks from the center with dark aura swirling around his head. He holds up the green phone. Jijeon walks calmly toward him. Doyle inspects the device. No saved numbers. No call records, just a couple texts from a girl who has been watching him, but he risked his life for this thing. Jijeon holds out his open palm in silence. Give it back. Doyle mocks him. He asks if she is his girlfriend or just a fling. Jijeon glares with lethal eyes. Doyle reveals he sent her a text to get things moving. Across town, Ariam feels her phone vibrate in her pocket.
Plus 82102958843. Hey, I'm fucking lonely right now. Wanna meet up? If you come to Sakegil Park, you'll be my girlfriend starting today.
Doyle smirks. If she shows up after that message, it proves she likes him. He tells him to treat him to a meal when she becomes his girlfriend. Jijeon keeps his hand extended, dead silent. Daesik steps up behind him with a vicious grin. Doyle admits Taksu was always going to get beaten up eventually for being imprudent, but he was still his classmate. He asks if our guy came prepared to pay the price. Jijeon says absolutely nothing. Doyle holds up the phone. If he can hold on to it while fighting the whole gang, he can keep it. The circle closes in. He explains that messing with Taksu means joining the ranking fight. He screams at him to show his skills. Daesik lunges from behind for revenge. Jijeon ducks low to dodge the heavy punch. Daesik screams at the others to catch him. A pink-haired guy swings a wild right hook. He ducks under it. He raises his arms to guard his head. Still totally silent, multiple gang members swarm him from all sides. He crosses his arms to block a heavy barrage of kicks and punches. Fists land heavily on his body as he covers up defensively. He drops to one knee under the relentless assault. The gang swarms over him, kicking him while he guards on the dirt. Doyle watches in confusion. Why is he only defending? He takes the beating without a single scream. He wonders if he is risking his life just for the silence. Doyle stands up. He offers a reward to whoever makes the kid scream. Limited edition sneakers. The gang cheers with greedy faces. The violence escalates. Doyle yells at him to prove he is a rare item. Daesik shoves the others aside to take over. He delivers a brutal flying knee straight to the face. Jijeon collapses onto his back, battered and bloodied. A gang member picks up a heavy gray rock. He raises it overhead to smash his face. Doyle leaps down and kicks the guy in the face to stop him. He glares menacingly. That was way too low. He hauls Jijeon up by the collar and stares into his bloody face. He asks if he enjoys getting beaten up to hide something. He whispers that this will never end until he proves himself. Singmin watches from behind a tree, sweating in guilt. He realizes Doyle is on a different level. He notices Ariam walking into the park toward the pavilion. Doyle holds up the phone as it lights up with a message.
Please let him go.
Aram stands in the middle of the path, staring directly at the gang. Doyle grins maliciously. He says the fling has arrived. A guy in a black face mask steps toward her. The masked guy charges forward. He grabs her tightly by the wrist. He smirks leeringly. He calls her pretty. He yanks her back and screams in her face. Where is she running when she came here alone? Seungmin cringes in terror behind the tree. The guy drags her toward the pavilion to see her boyfriend. Jijeon's eyes widen in shock and fury. Aram looks down at his beaten face in distress. Flashbacks hit him. Aram holding the umbrella in the rain. Aram watching him from afar in class. Aram reaching out over the rooftop fence. She stands in the park with tears welling up in her red eyes. The gang members whisper and laugh. They cannot believe she actually came. Daesik steps on the back of his neck to pin him to the dirt. He claims they were just educating a very frustrating guy. Aram types frantically on her phone with trembling hands.
He's just a friend. Please let him G.
The gang gathers around her confused. Why is she not talking? They demand her name. She stays silent. Doyle realizes the truth. They are both mute. The crowd mocks them for being a chat couple of nerds. Doyle promises a reward to whoever makes either of them talk. They crowd around her, leering up close. They offer themselves instead of the frustrating guy. One grabs her roughly by the collar and orders her to speak. Another creeps up and sniffs her hair. Dark rage flares up in those blue eyes. Doyle watches with a menacing smirk. He asks what he will do now. The guy grabs her chin, forcing her head up aggressively. Seungmin watches from the tree, trembling in sheer horror. The bully screams at her to scream. Jijeon snaps. A massive straight punch obliterates the guy's face. He is thrown backward onto the pavement. Our boy stands up. Dark aura crackles around his bloodied face. His fist smashes into another jaw with shattering force. A lightning-fast combination knocks out a third guy instantly. He swings a high kick right into the pink-haired guy's face. He slams him onto the pavement with crushing downward force. Doyle grins wildly. Finally, he is fighting. Jijeon breathes heavily amidst the unconscious bodies. He glances back calmly at Aram to make sure she is safe. The remaining members charge in a frenzy. He drops low and takes down two at once with a spinning sweep kick. He drives a knee strike right into a chest as the crowd surges in. He ducks under a punch and counters with an uppercut. He grabs another by the hair and forcefully slams his head down. A knee straight up into the face finishes it. He pummels the next one relentlessly. Doyle shouts in wild excitement for him to prove his worth. Daesik shoves the others aside to take him on himself. He charges forward and tackles him to the ground. Jijeon catches the leg mid-strike while lying on his back. He flips him over and slams him face first into the dirt. He leaps back onto his feet in a low stance. Daesik swings a heavy right hook as he recovers. Our guy steps directly onto the thigh to vault over the attack. He lands a devastating spinning back kick straight to the face. The massive force throws Daesik backward. Doyle laughs maniacally. Definitely a rare item. Daesik groans on his knees, spitting blood. He tries to stagger up and grab him from behind. Jijeon raises both hands overhead. Dark red energy crackles around his arms. He drops a double fist hammer strike right onto the skull. He relentlessly pummels him on the floor with rapid strikes. Daesik collapses face down, completely unconscious. The remaining members stare in total shock. They charge together in a collective frenzy. A high kick knocks out multiple guys simultaneously. Doyle watches with an ecstatic smirk. It is beautiful. One guy grabs Aram by the throat. He orders Jijeon to kneel or the girl gets hurt. The eyes glow a blinding white cyan. Dark veins flare across his face. The dark memory flashes again. He advances toward the hostage taker with dark aura flaring intensely. The guy screams in panic to stay back. Aram stares in fear at the terrifying transformation. He looms over the terrified guy. A lethal straight punch ends him instantly. He leaps forward with a brutal knee strike to the next one. The last few back away in sheer terror. A downward punch smashes one into the dirt. A low kick sends another flying backward. The final guy drops to his knees begging for mercy. He gets a shattering impact blow anyway. Doyle shouts from the pavilion for him to stop. That is enough. He holds out the green smartphone. He passed the test. He offers him a place in his gang. Jijeon walks slowly toward him, breathing heavily. Doyle notices the hostile glare. His grin fades into anger. Our boy throws a full-force punch straight at the leader face. Doyle ducks beneath it with fluid footwork. He delivers a lightning-fast counterpunch straight into the jaw with a shockwave burst. Jijeon is thrown backward by the massive force. He collapses back onto his feet, panting as steam rises from his bruised body. Doyle glares down with a terrifying smile. He warned him to stop. He tells him to take his time to think. He will be back for an answer. He drops the green phone right onto his chest. The gang limps away, leaving him on the floor. Daesik asks who the hell that bastard is. He wonders why they are recruiting someone who refuses to listen. Doyle touches his bloodied lip. He admits he got chills when the kid lost his shit. He clearly dodged the punch, but Jijeon reacted in that instant and got him anyway. A talent that targets weak points. Outstanding. He grins maniacally. He is going to have him for himself. Jijeon sits exhausted on the wooden bench while Aryam stands in front of him. He rests his head heavily against her shoulder. She looks down with a blushing face and tearful red eyes. She steps back carefully. She turns and runs down the path. He sits alone as the phone vibrates beside him.
I'll get some medication, please wait.
The memory of the gang member threatening her flashes in his mind. He stands up slowly. He sets the green smartphone down onto the wooden slats. He turns his back and walks away into the night, abandoning it. Singmin peeks from the tree. He is amazed. If it were a one-on-one from the start, Doyle might have lost. He walks over to the bench and spots the phone. He remembers this is the exact same phone left on the shoe lockers. It hits him. Aryam gave this to Jijeon. He hears footsteps approaching. Aryam runs back, carrying a pharmacy bag. Sungmin panics. He decides to just book it. She arrives to find an empty bench. She looks bewildered and deeply sad. Singmin runs away, carrying the stolen phone.
I bought the medicine, but you left. Are your wounds okay?
He curses Jijeon for being a cold bastard and abandoning a worried girl. He debates replying just to reassure her.
I'm Aryam, from class Quattro, Han Aryam.
He blushes. He knows very well.
Thank you for helping me just now. Can we talk like this bit by bit from now on?
He screams internally. What is he supposed to do with this? If he ignores it, he will feel terrible. He debates pretending to be Jijeon just for a bit. Aryam sits alone waiting. Her phone vibrates.
Okay.
Her face lights up with pure happiness. The next morning, students gather in the alley buzzing about a video. It is a blurry recording of the transfer student fighting the gang in the park. The dark-haired guy is amazed. He asks Singmin if this is really the asshole he mentioned. Singmin admits he barely managed to record it. The guy says the kid is cool as fuck and will be popular. Singmin mutters he already is. He stews in jealousy knowing Aryam likes him. He is annoyed that Jijeon rejects her but also relieved. It is tearing him apart. The friend taps his screen. He calls dibs on uploading it to TikTok to go viral. Singmin chases him down to snatch it back. He bumps into someone in the hallway and drops his tie clip.
Baekdong High Sophomore Rank 2 Kim Jinwoo.
Singmin stares up in utter terror. Jinwoo steps closer and offers to put it back on for him. He suddenly slaps Singmin hard across the face. He tells him to get himself together and walks away. The friend checks on him. Singmin screams that it hurts like a bitch and blames him. He says it is a relief it ended with just a slap. Jinwoo is infamous for his temper. They spot Yena leaning in close to chat with Jijeon about his bruises. Sungmin glares bitterly at that popularity. Aryam and now Yena. He awkwardly waves hello to Aryam as she walks past. She ignores him completely. He sighs. To get close to her, he has to get close to Jijeon first.
Tic-tac search. Holy shit. Transfer student. Hashtag.
The dark-haired student hits upload. Classmates draw a smiley face on the back of Gogumin's shaved head. They hold him still and laugh hysterically. They declare he looks more handsome from the back. They shove him around and force him to walk backwards. He stumbles down the hallway awkwardly. He nears the top of the staircase. They tell him to trust them and hurry up. He loses his balance and screams in panic. He plummets down the concrete stairs while they laugh from the landing. An impact blur stops his fall. Jijeon catches him firmly in his arms at the bottom. Yena approaches with concern. Then she sees the drawn face and bursts out laughing. Gumin explains the others did it as a joke. Gumin looks at our boy with deep respect. He is touched that he did not laugh at him. He bows deeply and shouts his thanks as Jijeon walks away. Inside the gymnasium, an illegal fighting ring is in full swing. Students crowd around the court cheering and gambling their money. No Jamin sits bored on the bleachers. The skill level is pathetic. A student hands him a phone with a crazy video. Jamin stares at the viral footage. The uniform looks like their school. His crony is impressed by the skill. Jamin squints. If this guy is really from here, it is going to be a huge hit for the ring. He stands up and shouts to the crowd. He asks if anyone knows the transfer student. A student points out Class 5. The mute bastard. He shares the rumor that Taksu was hospitalized by him. Jamin grins arrogantly. He got Taksu. He tells his crew to get more info on him. At lunch, classmates invite Gumin to eat, but he declines. He approaches Jijeon with a bag of bread and asks to eat together. Up on the roof, Sungmin waves excitedly. He is shocked to see Gumin tagging along. They glare at each other competitively over who gets to eat with him. Singmin points and laughs loudly at the drawing on Gumin's head. Gumin claims he is not trying to be funny. He declares his body is living evidence of bullying and it cannot be solved by hiding. Singmin calls bullshit. Gumin asks him to take photos for evidence. Singmin's phone vibrates. It is a text from Aryam. He stands up abruptly. He tells them to eat first.
Have a nice lunch.
He clutches the phone to his chest and swoons.
You too.
Aryam blushes with glowing red eyes. No Jaemin enters the rooftop, glaring darkly. Singmin freezes in terror. He grins sinisterly and approaches the bench. He holds up the viral video. Singmin realizes someone uploaded it. Big mistake. Jaemin orders him to stand up and show his skills. Jijeon just stares up with cold, expressionless eyes. Jaemin throws a heavy punch. He swivels his head slightly and dodges effortlessly. A second punch misses. Jaemin mocks him for being too scared to stand. He winds up for a full power strike. He tells him to start by taking a beating. Jijeon delivers a swift counterkick directly to the shin without even standing up. The leg is knocked completely out from under him. Jaemin slams face first onto the wooden bench. He clutches his bloody nose in shock. Jaemin backs away on his hands and knees in terror. He scrambles up and flees in panic. Sungmin and Gumin stare in disbelief. Gumin realizes the rumor is true. He really sent Taksu to the hospital. Sungmin looks anxious. Having that bastard find him is a sign of danger. He explains that Jaemin is part of Kim Jin-woo gang. They run a fighting pit in the gym for money. He thinks Jijeon is their next target. Gumin punches Sungmin angrily for suggesting their friend fight for money. Gumin declares he will protect him. Since Jijeon is silent, he will reject them on his behalf. He places a hand on his shoulder. Friends do this for each other. Singmin scoffs at the forced friendship. Back in class, students gather around the desk. They show him the viral video and ask for a nod to confirm. Gumin steps in front defensively. He declares himself the official representative. Kim Jin-woo walks into the classroom alongside a muscular crony. Students turn around terrified. Rank number 2 is here. He demands to know who the transfer student is. He walks directly toward the desk. Gumin steps up nervously to intercept. He stammers bravely that they have to go through him first. The muscular crony grabs him aggressively by the shirt. He slaps Gumin hard across the face. Gumin stumbles back into a desk. Jinwoo hauls him up by the collar with a mocking smirk. Jijeon stands up slowly from his chair. He steps out to face the bully directly. Jinwoo asks if he is the one who fucked up Jaemin nose. He holds out a black card with a red dog design. He says he came personally to give the invite to the gym. He thrusts the card into his face and asks if he wants to make money. Gumin tries to speak up again. He insists Jijeon does not want to fight. Jinwoo's face darkens with sinister rage. He is tired of the interruption. He violently slams Gumin down onto a school desk. Gumin tumbles to the floor in pain. Jinwoo screams furiously at him for getting in the middle of this. He kicks him repeatedly while he lies helpless. He tells the loser to stay bent in the corner. A hand reaches out and grabs the bully arm mid-strike. Jinwoo looks back startled. The grip is like iron. Jijeon glares with lethal cold eyes. Jinwoo tells him to get his hands off. He hates being touched. Gumin looks up from the floor in shock. The muscular crony swings a heavy punch from behind to defend his boss. Jijeon ducks low with lightning speed. He drives a powerful upward knee strike right into the jaw. A violent impact burst rocks the classroom. The crony head snaps back as blood spatters. Our boy stands firm as dark red aura flares up around him. The crony crashes hard into the desks. Jinwoo stares in absolute disbelief. The crony grabs a heavy metal chair and charges in rage. Jijeon vaults off a desk and lands a flying kick. He delivers a brutal downward strike right on the head. The crony is smashed face first into the floor. He lies collapsed under the sneaker, groaning in pain. Jijeon stands tall on top of the desk, glaring down coldly. Classmates watch in awe. The viral video was absolutely real. The crony tries to hoist a wooden desk high above his head with a roar. The homeroom teacher bursts through the door shouting in shock. He demands they put the desk down immediately. He scolds Jijeon for standing on the furniture. Jinwoo drapes his arm over his beaten crony and puts on a fake cheerful smile. Just a joke between friends. He smirks arrogantly at Gumin. He assumes he can contact Jijeon through his representative. He promises to see them again and leaves. He mockingly pats the teacher on the shoulder on his way out. Outside, Gumin boasts excitedly. It was straight out of a movie. Singmin clutches his face, regretting that he missed the live action. He wonders why their friend has not come out yet. The teacher held him behind. Jijeon sits across from the teacher in the counseling office, drinking green tea. The teacher smiles gently. He mentions the school atmosphere is very different from his previous one. He admits he was against the transfer when the father suggested it, but he trusted him as a friend. He remembers the last time he saw the boy 4 years ago. A young Jijeon punched a heavy boxing bag with incredible power. The teacher had praised his energy. The father had turned a corner of their house into a gym to raise him strong. The teacher sips his tea. Back then the boy was bright and full of life. He does not know what happened to make him this way. He warns him that he has to figure out his issues with the other students by himself. He believes the physical training was not just for fighting. He hopes that one day he will overcome this silence. Seungmin and Guman run through the sudden rain holding bags over their heads. They take shelter. Guman assumes Jinwoo gave up since he cannot drag Jijeon to the ring. Guman spots Aryam waiting under an umbrella in the distance. He runs off. Seungmin checks his phone.
Do you have an umbrella? I'm in front of the stationery store. Can you come?
He runs as fast as he can down the rain-slicked alley. He spots her waiting under the purple umbrella. She is waiting for Jijeon. He panics. Should he bring the real guy over? He screams internally. No, he refuses to let them share an umbrella romantically. He grins helplessly with a bright red blush. He runs back to the school to find him. Aram turns around as footsteps approach. Seungmin arrives with Jijeon right beside him. She is completely shocked to see the imposter. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a spare folded umbrella. She holds it out to them. Seungmin stares in total shock. She was never planning to share her umbrella. Her heart was always aimed firmly at the other guy. He trembles with emotion. Just once he wants her to look at him. He forcefully snatches the folded umbrella. He thanks her loudly, claiming they needed one to go to the new game center. He throws his arm around our boy and invites her to join them as friends. Meanwhile, Guman runs frantically down a dark alley. Jaemin and his crony smirk down at him from a parking entrance. He is trapped between the towering bullies. Jaemin grins through his bandaged nose. He has a message for the representative. At the game center, Seungmin charges forward aggressively in air hockey. A flashback hits. Guman looks beaten and exhausted. He groans in the pouring rain. He promised to make Jijeon participate. Jaemin holds him roughly by the head and demands certainty. A hard slap across the face forces compliance. Jaemin warns him that the price of failure is his actual life. He flicks the black hound dog card onto the wet pavement. He tells him to welcome Jijeon to the fighting pits. Seungmin screams in determination back at the arcade. He strikes the puck hard. He thinks his gaming skills are unmatched. He hopes Aryam is watching this display of dominance. Jijeon cleanly deflects it with a gentle tap. The puck zips straight past the paddle into the goal. Seungmin laughs nervously, claiming he gave him a handicap. He strikes furiously again. The puck ricochets off the wall in a trickshot bank bounce. Seungmin misses completely again. He sweats nervously, realizing the guy is way too good. He goes for a desperate final strike. It slams past him with massive speed. The digital board reads 13-0. Total destruction. He offers Aryam a turn. He hopes she feels the cold, callous nature of the transfer student. He thinks her rose-tinted glasses are about to fall off. She taps the puck gently. Jijeon passes it back softly. They rally back and forth in perfect harmony. Seungmin screams in frustration at the unfairness. Where did that crazy spin shot go? He moves to the claw machine to win a plushie and win her over. The pink bear slips out at the last second. He yells in frustration. He tries to play it cool. He almost had it. The claw drops it again. He swears the machine is rigged. He punches the glass in rage. Jijeon hits the redemption button. Two massive bears drop into the chute. He hands the brown bear directly to Seungmin. He hands the pink one to Aryam. She blushes and calls it cute. Seungmin glares bitterly. What is this bastard not good at? He decides to use his ultimate move. It is a bit unfair but necessary. They hit a coin karaoke room. Seungmin takes the mic and starts singing passionately. He belts out a high note, hoping Aryam is listening. He tries to hit an ultra-high note but chokes on his own spit and coughs violently. He clutches his throat in agony. He is completely fucked. He rushes out of the booth in pure humiliation. The two of them sit alone in the quiet booth.
Thank you for the plushie.
Her phone lights up with an incoming call.
Dad, incoming call.
Her face pales in absolute terror. She stands up abruptly and heads for the exit. She rushes out into the street in a blind panic. She accidentally bumps into an older man carrying hot coffee. He yells angrily as it spills all over his shirt. She bows repeatedly in fear. He asks where she learned her manners. Seungmin runs out of the arcade and spots the trouble. The man's friend in a bucket hat asks if she is his girlfriend. Seungmin stammers that they are just classmates. The angry man tips his cup and pours hot coffee right over her head. Seungmin stares in horrified shock. A hand reaches out and grabs the wrist tightly. Jijeon stands firm, blocking the attack. The man screams in his face, demanding to know who he is. He steps forward, revealing large carp tattoos on his calf. He swings a heavy punch. Jijeon ducks low and drives a counter-strike into his midsection, crashing him to the floor. The friend in the bucket hat charges forward furiously. A swift counterpunch shatters his jaw. He is knocked flat onto his back. Aram stands frozen as coffee drips down her uniform. He looks back at her with a calm, protective gaze. He reaches out and gently grabs her wrist. He leads her away as the beaten men yell threats from behind. They run together hand in hand down the street. Jijeon and Aryam run out of the arcade together into the rain. An angry man grabs Sungmin by the collar outside. He wants a piece of the friend. Sungmin breaks free and books it. He runs up the outdoor stairs clutching his brown bear plushie. He reaches the top just in time to spot them. They are walking close together under a single umbrella. He stands alone at the railing getting completely drenched. He realizes they look incredibly good together. He looks down at the rain. The harsh reality sets in. To a girl like Aryam, he is just a common background NPC. He wanders down the street under his umbrella until he hears a weak voice. Go-Guman is crouching against a brick wall. He is beaten bloody. Sungmin rushes over in a panic. The kid weeps. He says he does not have the right anymore. He cries that he is not qualified to be the official representative. Sungmin asks if Jinwoo did this. Guman confesses he promised the bullies he would get Jijeon to participate in the pit fights. He sold him out because he was terrified. Sungmin grimaces in shared grief. He tells him they are exactly the same, just two cowards living loser lives. He helps him stand up. Guman wonders what nobodies like them can even do now. Sungmin gets a determined look. If our guy truly thinks of them as friends despite all this, he knows Jijeon will help. Meanwhile, the couple walks side by side down the wet sidewalk. Aryam blushes softly. Yena stands under a yellow umbrella across the street. She suddenly stops. She looks completely flustered and quickly claims it is nothing, but she shoots a deeply pained glance over her shoulder. She watches the two of them vanish into the dark rain. Aryam feels a vibration in her skirt pocket. Her eyes widen in pure fear. They stop outside her apartment complex.
This is right where I live. Take the umbrella with you. Bye.
She walks up the stairs, leaving him standing in the rain. She runs back and taps his shoulder.
Thank you so much for today.
She gives him a gentle, beautiful smile. His eyes widen in shock. He watches her disappear down the corridor. She steps out of the elevator onto the 5th floor. She approaches her unit door with a fearful expression. A dark silhouette stands near the railing, her abusive father flicking a lighter. He takes a drag from his cigarette and glares at her in the dark. He calls her gratitude a load of absolute bullshit. She stands frozen as he curses her out. The next day, under a bright sunny sky, Sungmin violently punches Guman on the school rooftop. He screams at him for selling out their friend. Guman grovels on the floor, admitting he deserves it. Sungmin keeps swinging while Jijeon just sits on the bench eating a sandwich. Sungmin finally stops and asks our boy how much more he should beat him. Jijeon calmly gives them the details. Saturday night at 9 in the gymnasium. Guman panics. He asks what happens if he refuses to go. The bullies will literally kill him. Jijeon stands up and walks out, shutting the door behind him. They watch him leave with zero idea if he is actually going to show up. Sungmin tells Guman he should have cried more dramatically.
Saturday night.
The gym is fully converted into a fighting ring. A massive crowd of high schoolers cheers wildly around the court. Guman and Sungmin stand in the crowd, completely overwhelmed by the intense atmosphere. Sungmin mutters that everyone here has gone completely mad. A fighter takes a brutal punch to the jaw, spraying blood across the floor. Meanwhile, Kim Jinwoo watches the live stream from his computer monitor in the dark counseling office. He kicks his legs up on the desk and sips a sparkling water. He smirks, wondering if the transfer student is actually going to show. He admits he thought the kid was a soft, silent puppy, not a pit fighter. He debates who to bet his money on. Down on the court, Lee Tae-sung sits on a high chair wearing headphones. Jinwoo decides to bet on him. He is the hound dog champion. The desk phone rings. A crony whispers that a student is here but refuses to talk. Jinwoo grins. He tells them to send him in.
Low battery. 10% battery remaining. Close.
He peeks through the office blinds and spots him walking down the pavement alone. He laughs. The kid has the courage to be a sacrificial pawn. Back in the gym, another fighter hits the floor. The pink-striped crony stands by the railing, getting impatient for the main event. Bullies surround Guman and Sungmin, grabbing them aggressively. They threaten to feed them to Lee Tae-sung if their boy does not show. The heavy double doors push open with a clatter. Jijeon stands at the entrance in his school uniform, staring calmly ahead. The crowd erupts. The two friends rush forward and hug him passionately. They knew he would come. The pink-striped crony approaches with a sinister smirk. He mocks him, saying only 10% of the crowd bet on his side, but he leans in and whispers that he put his own money on the transfer student. He calls him a hungry cub ready to hunt. He tells him to show them everything he has got. The crowd parts. Tae-sung waits in the center circle. He adjusts his headphones and sizes up the new meat. He tosses the headphones back to the crowd and yells to cue the music. He smirks as the notes float through the air. Let the fun begin. Ji-Jon's face darkens instantly as the melody hits his ears. They drop into their fighting stances. Taesung lunges forward with a wild double fist strike. Ji-Jun ducks low and lands a clean counter to the ribs. They exchange rapid combinations across the floor. Our boy swivels past a high kick and smashes his fist directly into the champion chest. Taesung drops into a defensive crouch, sweating. He realizes immediately that this kid is on a completely different level. He charges forward, throwing a heavy punch with purple impact effects. He flinches. The kid aimed perfectly for the moment his guard dropped. Ji-Jon drives a straight punch deep into his midsection. He follows with a sharp low kick against the shin, making the big guy groan. A brutal uppercut to the jaw sends a shockwave through the court. Gumin and Sungmin cheer hysterically from the sidelines. Taesung covers his face in terror as the continuous strikes rain down. He realizes he is just becoming a punching bag. Up in the office, Jin-Woo bolts out of his chair, screaming at the monitor. He demands his fighter get it together. The spectators echo the sentiment. They are losing their bets. A student in the crowd yells to turn the music up. The amplifier knob cranks all the way. The beat blasts through the speakers. Taesung raises his guard to try again.
That familiar expression, your eyes through the mirror. I know who I am.
Ji-Jon's eyes widen in dark trauma as the pop song floods the room. Taesung uses the distraction to land a heavy straight punch straight into his chest. The crowd cheers as they recognize the track. It is Ilakun, the hottest idol group right now. Our guy trembles in shock. The name shatters his focus. A memory forces its way to the surface. A blonde girl sitting on a bench.
If I debut, you'll be the boyfriend of an idol.
The young Ji-Jon looks down quietly as Mirai calls his name. In a flashback, Ji-Jon sits on a park bench beside a blonde girl named Ilakun. She tells him that if she signs the contract, they will make sure she debuts. She looks at him with concern. She asks if she will be able to do it. He speaks quietly. If it is her choice, then for him, that is the correct answer. She wraps her arms around his neck in a warm embrace and thanks him. She calls him her safe place. In the present, he holds his fist against his mouth, visibly distressed by the memory. Back in the gymnasium fight ring, Lee Taesung strikes his defensive arms with heavy punches. Gumin and Sungmin watch from the bleachers in extreme panic. He is losing. Taesung smirks. He thinks the transfer student is nothing special. He pushes him back with another heavy punch, claiming the victory. The crowd cheers wildly for the local fighter. A massive speaker blasts loud music into the gym. Gumin realizes the music is distracting. He yells at the delinquents to turn it down. A gray-haired guy tells him to piss off. Gumin suddenly grabs the heavy speaker and sprints away with it. The bullies yell after him. He presses the button to shut the music off. Another flashback hits. An entertainment agency building. The girl weeps. She says she does not want to be associated with him anymore. She tells him they have to stop seeing each other. She is tired of him. He pounds his fist against the glass doors, screaming her real name, Mirai. A security guard grabs him from behind to stop the ruckus. In the present, a powerful straight punch smashes into his face. Taesung grins fiercely. He just needs one clean hit to finish this. A heavy punch to the jaw throws the head back. Dark aura flares around those glowing white cyan eyes. The memory of her walking away burns in his mind. He drops onto his hands and knees, panting heavily. Taesung leaps high into the air with his fist raised for a crushing blow. The friends scream in terror. The glowing eye locks onto the falling target. He arches his back low to the floor, dodging the strike entirely. He vaults off the floor dynamically with incredible speed. He lunges forward before the opponent can even turn around. A brutal downward punch smashes Taesung straight onto the court. The crowd stands in stunned silence. Taesung groans on his knees, swearing in shock. A brutal high kick sends him flying backward. He collapses face down, spitting a pool of blood. He struggles to push himself up, unable to comprehend the shift in power. Kang Doyle smiles arrogantly from the bleachers. It is over. The friends cheer hysterically. Taesung staggers up. He was definitely winning a second ago. Another brutal high kick to the face puts him back down. Taesung cringes in terror and begs him to stop. The merciless pummeling continues. The spectators watch in horror as the kid beats him half to death. The friends stare in utter terror at the violent outburst. Doyle cronies worry he is going to cause an incident. Doyle just smiles. He found a catch. He asks his men who they should put him up against next to make a more exciting match. Gumin and Sungmin rush forward to hold our boy back. He won. The dark energy finally recedes. Up in an office overlooking the gym, Jinwoo slams his fist on his desk. He is furious that this one-off bastard beat his guy. He adjusts his glasses. The one who makes money comes first. He decides it is possible this transfer student can be on his side. He grins sinisterly. He just has to train him into a loyal hound dog. Ji-Jon breathes heavily on the court. Doyle congratulates him on the win. His eyes did not deceive him. He tells him to show that crazed look in his next match too. Our boy walks away. Doyle says he will send the fight money through his agent. The friends run up to him, offering to buy a victory meal. He gently pats them on their heads as he walks past. Later that night, he stands alone in front of a giant outdoor screen.
That familiar facial expression. Ilakun, your eyes in the mirror. Ilakun, I know who I am.
An MC interviews Shin Mirai. She makes a heart gesture thanking her fans for seeing their hard work. The boys watch him stare at the screen. They wonder if it was her song that triggered his violence earlier. Singmin assumes he is an anti-fan. Gumin boasts that she has no antis because she is too pretty. Singmin calls him a simp. They argue playfully about their favorite idol members. Our guy walks along the beach boardwalk at night. He sits quietly on a wooden bench facing the dark ocean. The boys watch from a distance. They wonder if he is stressed. Gumin says they should at least say something as friends. Sungmin knows someone who can console him. Aram lies in her dark bedroom. Her phone vibrates.
Message. Do you want to come out for a bit? The beach in front of the lighthouse.
She peeks cautiously out of her bedroom door. Her father lies slumped over the kitchen table surrounded by empty alcohol bottles. She steps quietly past him. He suddenly jerks his head up and asks if she wants to die. She gasps in terror. He mutters bitterly and slumps back into his chair. She runs down the outdoor stairs into the night. By the beach, Gumin asks who he contacted. He is shocked that his friend texts girls. Singmin confesses that Aram does not actually know it is him. He explains he picked up the phone she gave to Jijeon. He admits he pretended to be Jijeon and answered her texts a few times. He knows he has to give it back. Gumin asks him point blank if he likes her. He admits he did once, but he knows his place now. Gumin kicks him in the backside and tells him to give it back immediately. He approaches the bench and startles our boy. He holds out the green smartphone with trembling hands. He drops to his knees crying and apologizing for pretending to be him. He confesses he sent one last text and begs him not to reject her. He claims they look good together. Jijeon looks down at the glowing phone.
12:08. Message. I'm almost there.
Aram runs down the lit boardwalk, panting heavily. The boys watch from behind a building. Singmin is emotional. She really came. Gumin smiles. Singmin prays that Jijeon takes care of her. Gumin suggests they head back since it is late. He offers a sleepover at his house to play games. They walk away to give their friends some privacy. Jijeon and Aram sit side by side in the dark.
I was surprised. You texted me. What is it?
He covers his face in deep embarrassment.
Thought of you.
A soft blush spreads across her cheeks.
The waves sound nice. Yeah. Do you come here often? No, it's my first time. When do you go to sleep? At 10. I actually saw your text in the middle of my sleep.
His eyes widen in shock. She woke up just to meet him.
I'll see you off.
She reaches out and grabs his arm tightly.
No, I don't want to go home.
He stands there completely surprised. He buys them canned drinks from a vending machine.
Thanks, Jijeon.
They sit on the bench drinking together.
Why not? My house feels like a prison. I was really surprised when I received your text today. You texted me before going to sleep last time too. I was surprised then as well. You suddenly texted, good night, good night. You too. Good night, Jijeon.
He realizes Singmin sent those texts.
I had a bad day that day, but that small text felt like a small cheer, telling me to stay strong. Thanks. I've wanted to ask you since the beginning. Why don't you speak?
She leans closer to look into his face. The memory hits him again, reaching out desperately for Mirai. Security guards holding him back, telling him to piss off, threatening him with police for stalking. Mirai turning around and running back to embrace him, weeping against his chest, admitting she practiced breaking up just to be cold to him, but she could not do it.
I can't let you go, even if I die.
He promised to always be by her side. Two corporate men watched from a high-rise window.
Bongsan Entertainment CEO Go Bongsan. Some people's words seep into your soul and stop everything. That's very philosophical. I don't know what happened, but it can't be for a reason as simple as mine. What about you? It's simple. My words are dirty, like my dad's. The way my dad speaks, I found out it's in me too. It's stupid, right? Wanna take a walk? Yeah.
They walk side by side down the sidewalk.
There's a lot of people since it's a busy street. Yeah, because it's Saturday night.
Angry shouting echoes from a night market stall. A group of delinquents yells at a guy drinking alcohol. A dark-haired guy with a lip ring smirks. He claims he just looks mature. The bullies demand to know where his buddies are. He just wants to drink quietly on his day off. They threaten to kill him. He taunts them for holding a grudge against his school. An angry bully kicks over the table, smashing glasses. The lip ring guy vaults the table and drives a flying kick into his face. He lands on top and grabs his hair. Jijeon and Aryum walk right past the brawl. The lip ring guy punches another attacker. He runs down the street while the angry gang chases him. Jijeon stops in surprise. It is Kang Doyle. He breaks into a manic smile. He waves enthusiastically and shouts hello to his friend. He runs up to them on the pavement. He wraps his arm around our boy's shoulder like they are best buddies. The angry gang approaches, demanding to know if they are together. Doyle claims it is obvious. The gang charges to fuck them both up. Jijeon steps in front of Aryum to shield her. Doyle punches a bully in the face. Jijeon blocks an attack. The bully says they should share the hits if they are friends. A sharp counterpunch shatters his jaw. Doyle delivers a spinning sidekick and warns him about the next one. A powerful straight punch lands with a violent burst. They fight side by side, knocking down the entire crowd. Aryum watches him. She thought he was behind a high wall, but she realizes he breaks through walls to reach people. He seems cold, but he is not. He fights for something other than himself. Something desperate. A bully sneaks up behind her with a pocket knife. He lunges directly at her back. She screams in sheer terror. Doyle yells for Jijeon to duck. Our boy ducks low while Doyle vaults over him. He delivers a devastating flying kick straight into the knife-wielder jaw. The coward crashes onto the pavement, dropping the weapon. Doyle stomps on his chest. The entire gang lies unconscious on the street. Doyle stands back to back with him. He smirks playfully. They are quite in sync. Jijeon turns to check on Aryum. Doyle mocks him for shaking in his boots. Jijeon throws a fast, straight punch right into his face. He grabs him by the collar. Doyle begs him to wait. A heavy punch to the chest drops him to his knees. He grins sheepishly, raising his hands in surrender. He was just excited to see him. Our guy raises his foot for a kick. Doyle screams in panic. Jijeon glares down. He does not want to fight him. They were just on the same side. Doyle makes excuses. The park gauntlet was just a test. He passed with flying colors. He holds out his hands and begs him to join the family. Jijeon brushes the hand off his shoulder and walks away. Doyle catches up to them. He comments on how close they have gotten. He laughs, claiming he played a role in it. He offers them a place to rest to pay them back. He leads them into a comic book rental cafe. An employee with an apron sits behind the counter. Doyle calls him Byungsu. He looks up sleepily. He introduces his new friends. Byungsu is surprised his type of friends has changed. He tells them to sit anywhere. Time is on the house. Back at the apartment complex, Aryum father sleeps soundly among the empty bottles. He staggers out of his chair. He opens the door to her bedroom. The bed is unmade. The room is empty. He storms in, shouting in rage. He looks around frantically. He screams her name down the hallway. He stands alone in the dark, yelling into the emptiness. Doyle calls the cafe his secret hiding place. He gives them special permission to chill here any time. He heads to a private cubicle to take a nap.
You got scared, right? Just now. No, I'm all right. I've calmed down. Do you want to read manhwa? Yeah.
They sit on the sofa reading together. She giggles quietly at her book. She holds it up to show him. Byungsu brings over iced drinks on the house. He is genuinely surprised Doyle has nice friends. He admits the kid actually has no real friends, just thugs who pick fights. They look up startled. Byungsu holds out his hand. He knows they are staring at it. He is used to the missing fingers. He thinks Doyle still has not accepted what happened to him. It is the reason the ordinary kid strayed from the path. He scratches his head, embarrassed to drop trauma on first-time customers. He asks them to take care of his junior. Our boy feels a weight on his shoulder. Aryum is fast asleep against him. Her phone starts vibrating violently in her pocket. She startles awake. She stands up looking anxious.
3:42. Missed calls 3. It's my dad. I think I have to go. I'll drop you off.
They walk side by side down the quiet sidewalk. She stops in front of her building looking up.
It was a few hours of freedom. Thank you, Jijeon.
She walks down the corridor to her door. She types the security code. The door yanks open from the inside. Her enraged father stands right there. He screams in her face, demanding to know where she was. He swings his hand and slaps her hard across the face, crashing her to the floor. He looms over her, shouting insults. Jijeon watches in shock and dark fury. The father grabs her roughly by the jacket, dragging her inside. Our boy charges forward down the hallway. The father turns and screams. He accuses him of tempting his daughter. He lunges forward, threatening to kill him. Aryum desperately grabs his leg to stop him. She clings to his clothes, begging him to stop. He screams at her for siding with the boy.
Get back, Jijeon.
He stares in shock. The father violently strikes her to shake her off. She looks up through tears and whispers for him to hurry. She screams for him to just go. He trembles in helplessness and guilt. He turns his back and walks away. He runs away down the dark corridor. He realizes he learned how to run away before. He ran away from a past he could not fix. He could not face it then either. He runs down the concrete stairs. The human that he is runs away when he cannot fight something. He closes his eyes like nothing happened. In the dark silence, struggling to hide himself.
In the dark silence.
He walks up stone temple stairs in the dark woods. He kneels praying inside the shrine room before a golden Buddha. An elderly monk turns with a gentle smile. He bows deeply. The monk notes how late it is. He must have a lot on his mind. He ran to the quietest place to live just to hide. He sits in his room surrounded by dark thoughts. But even here he made new friends. He looks out the window. He needs to make a choice.
Whether I'll accept it.
Or run away again. Two student fighters clash violently in the gym ring. The defeated fighter falls onto his back and surrenders immediately. Jinwoo crony yawns. The match was over too fast. Jinwoo steps in with his gang. He approaches the surrendering kid. He glares. It was not a big enough hit to call it quits. The kid explains there was no chance of winning, so why continue? Jinwoo forcefully stomps his shoe onto his chest. He screams at him for having a weak mindset. He stomps on him repeatedly, claiming he does not deserve to be a fighter. A crony whispers to him. Mr. Kim is asking for him in the storage room. The man in the business suit demands verified fighters. Everyone is waiting for Jijeon next match. Jinwoo sweats. Finding opponents is not easy. They lack endurance or fear injury. Mr. Kim glares. Is he saying he cannot find someone? He demands a time frame. Jinwoo asks for a month. Mr. Kim places a hand on his shoulder. He reminds him who gave him those luxury goods. He has gotten full of himself. Customers do not wait. There are other gambling spots for dopamine. If he cannot deliver, he can step back from operating Hound Dog. Jinwoo drops to his knees in pure terror. He bows his head and begs desperately. He promises to do his best. Mr. Kim places his leather shoe right onto the back of his head, pushing him into the dirt. He gives him exactly 1 week. If he fails, he has to fight Jijeon himself. He smiles sinisterly and leaves him there. Jinwoo kneels alone, trembling in fury. He is dead if he cannot find an opponent. Anyone will do. Up on the roof, Guman brings a bento lunch for everyone. He claims eating bread every day is bad for health. Jijeon eats silently while they chat. Sungmin notices the phone vibrating. He assumes it is Aram. He urges him to check it. Our boy stands up and walks away to read it. Guman slaps his shoulder, telling him to mind his own business.
Do you want to meet at the comic store later?
They sit across from each other in the lounge armchairs. Aram blushes and finally speaks aloud. It feels weird not to talk after shouting like that. She admits she hates her own voice. It has the vulgar speech she picked up from her dad. Jijeon listens attentively, but she does not regret it.
I don't like you getting hurt.
She explains her mother put up with him until she could not and left. Now it is just the two of them. She started talking less until she stopped entirely. The few friends she had all left. Doyle enters the cafe. He spots them on the couch. She explains she wanted to know if Jijeon had a similar story since he was also silent. Doyle shouts in shock. He cannot believe she is talking. She mutters she has no choice. He sits down between them, thrilled they can communicate more freely. He leans close, asking if Jijeon will speak too. A silent glare is the answer. He throws his arm over his shoulder and suggests dinner. He tries to drag Byung-soo along, but he insists on watching the empty store. In an alleyway, Jinwoo kicks a trash bin in a blind rage. He kicks a gas can. He is going to have to fight Jijeon himself at this rate. His cronies complain the 1-week deadline is too harsh. He screams at them to find a scout. A crony mentions it would be embarrassing to lose. He has one person in mind. He suggests a psycho dropout who became a gangster. The other crony panics. Scouting an actual gangster will blow things out of proportion. Jinwoo demands a name. In a flashback, a debtor screams for help inside a loan shark office. The bald boss reminds him he missed 2 months of interest. The man begs on his knees. A blonde gang member with neck tattoos holds heavy scissors over his hands. This is Chung Gitae. The man claims he is about to hit a jackpot and can pay everything back. Gitae opens the scissors around a finger. The boss scoffs at gambling as a repayment plan. He asks if they look like dickheads. Gitae warns him it will sting just a bit. He claims he is a master and will finish it cleanly. Blood splatters across his face as the scissors snip. The man collapses, clutching his severed finger in pure agony. Gitae crouches over him. What happens next is very important. He gives him 1 hour to get the money. He tosses the severed finger wrapped in a napkin back to him so he can get it stitched on. He laughs maniacally.
Dasun Industrial High Dropout Jungite.
The cronies share the dark reputation. He cut off the finger of a guitar player in the school band. He served time in juvie and joined a gang right after. It sends chills down their spines. Jinwoo breaks into a dark, thrilled smirk. He wants a meeting. He imagines the match between a gangster and the invincible transfer student. He claims they are in no position to be picky about murderers. Back in the present, Pyongsu actually joins them outside. Doyle tells him not to rot half asleep in the store all day. He mentions Pyongsu used to go on stage. Aram is surprised to learn he was in a band. Doyle asks what they want to eat. A black sedan pulls up right alongside them on the sidewalk. Inside, Gitae looks out the window. His eyes lock onto Byungsu. He asks the driver to stop so he can say hi to some old friends. He steps out of the car. He shouts his name down the street. Byungsu turns around in surprise. Gitae smirks. He was not sure, but it really is him. Byungsu turns pale in absolute shock. Doyle steps up protectively. He grabs the arm to stop him. Gitae grins. He asks why they look so scared, like they just saw a ghost. He notes they are all still close. Good to see. He praises Doyle for growing a lot but keeping that cheeky look. He demands a proper greeting for a sunbae. Doyle tells him they are on their way to eat. He glares coldly. This conversation will ruin their appetites. Gitae reaches for his wallet. He offers to pay for the meal. He thrusts cash directly into Doyle's chest, mocking him for being a broke student. He turns back to Byungsu with a fake smile. Their fates cross often. He reaches into his pocket, claiming he has a gift for him. He pulls out a white cloth napkin wrapped around something. He forces it into his hands. He says he got it today, and Byungsu really needs it. Byungsu looks down in total horror. RM covers her mouth. Jijeon glares. Byungsu stumbles back, hyperventilating in sheer panic. It is the severed finger from the debtor. Gitae tells him to take it to the hospital. He pulls him up by the hair and laughs. He tells him to get it attached so he can play guitar. He screams for him to say it is his dream. Doyle stands frozen, unable to move or speak. Jijeon looks down in dark conflict. He knows he can just walk away. This is all unrelated to him. But he remembers that night at the temple. The monk had told him it would not be easy to make friends since he does not talk. But he must be grateful to the ones who approach him anyway, because they jumped the big wall of his silence. They will become precious people in his life.
That night, I made a choice.
A hand reaches out and grabs Gita's wrist tightly.
I won't run away anymore.
Gita looks back in utter astonishment.
That I won't run and hide like a coward bystander.
The gangster demands to know who this bastard is that cannot read the room. He reaches for his face, demanding respect. He cracks his knuckles. He notes the kid has pretty fingers. He warns him he might lose them if he intervenes again. Jijeon drops into a fighting stance and glares directly into his face. Gitae steps back, ready for a fight. A car horn honks from the street. He clicks his tongue in annoyance and calls out to Byungsu, shivering on the ground. He asks how life is with no more dreams. He breaks into a manic laugh and tells them to have a nice meal. He walks back to his sedan. Doyle watches him leave. Doyle drops to his knees, groaning in shame. Byungsu looks up through tears with a forced, pathetic smile. He asks if they are all right. He forces a laugh. He tells them it is all in the past. He claims he is okay now. He stumbles back to the cafe alone. Doyle glares down at the floor, shrouded in extreme guilt. Up on the rooftop, Doyle slams his fist against the wall in absolute fury. He weeps. He froze up. He could not do anything. He screams in self-loathing. Nothing has changed at all. Aram asks who that guy was. Doyle explains it was Jung Gitae, the guy who cut off Byungsu's finger. He was just trying to stop the gang activity. In a flashback, Gita threatens a student with scissors. Byungsu grabs him from behind. Gitae slashes his hand with the blades. He asks why he had to be so nosy. Byungsu yells back with blood on his face. He defends the music room as a place where dreams grow.
Someone like you doesn't deserve to have a dream.
Gitae's face darkens with sinister rage. He scoffs at the word dream. A young Doyle enters the room just as it happens. Other students scream in terror as Gitae advances. Doyle stands frozen in horror. Doyle admits he never came to school again after that. He thought it was over, but 2 weeks later he heard a scream after class. He opened a storage room door and gasped. Inside, Gitae held the scissors right around Byungsu's finger. He tells him to go ahead and see how it is, a life without dreams. Byungsu screams in sheer agony as the finger is cut off. Doyle froze witnessing that moment. Gitae casually wipes the bloodied scissors on his arm. He notes it feels refreshing. He threatens Doyle with the same fate if he tells anyone. He walks away with a dark smirk, leaving his victim bleeding on the floor. Doyle wept in terror. Back in the present, he slams his fist again. He says the guy went to juvie and became a gangster. He works in the loan business now. Doyle admits this is the reason he became a bully himself. He swore while smelling the blood that he could not let someone who destroys dreams roam free. He drops to his knees, clutching the concrete. He wanted to get strong enough to make him pay, but he just froze up again. He has not changed at all. Aram asks if that is why he wanted Jijeon. He nods. He thought he needed to gather power against a gangster. He wanted to suppress him and make him pay. He looks up pleadingly. That is why he needs him. They walk home together down the sidewalk. She understands but warns him about going after a gangster. It is way too dangerous.
There was a single part of Doyle's story that touched me. That a person who destroys another's dream should not be left to roam free. That's not a personal revenge. It's justice.
The next morning, classmates discuss Yena's upcoming birthday party. She looks up expecting Jijeon to walk in. Her friend teases that he will not ignore her party. He is walking up the outdoor stairs right next to RM. The classmates are shocked to see the two mutes together. Guman and Sungmin run up behind them, waving enthusiastically. Yena glares from the window, wondering why that girl is at the center. She tries to act unbothered. Up on the roof, Sungmin complains about eating bread again. Guman agrees. They need balanced nutrition for growth. The door slides open. Aram steps out holding a bento bag. She speaks aloud. She wants to eat with them. Singmin leaps up cheering. Then he freezes. Did she just talk? She blushes and plays it off. The bento is decorated like an adorable white bunny face. She offers them a bite. Yena peeks through the door gap, glaring with dark jealousy. Gitae walks into his loan office on the phone, demanding a payment tomorrow. He smirks viciously and hangs up. He notices a red sticker on the door. Hound dog. He steps inside and finds Jinwoo waiting for him. Jinwoo sweats internally. Scouting a gangster might be a bad idea. His crony claims they are just trash society cancer anyway. They turn pale as Gitae glares from behind. He asks what they just called him. Jinwoo is absolutely terrified. The boss asks who the kids are. He tells them they pay taxes just like any other business. He demands to know what makes them look like gangsters. Anyone can see that they are. Gitae holds out the black invitation card. He asks if this belongs to them. Jinwoo stammers that they came to give it to him. A henchman mentions that Hound Dog belongs to another gangster. The boss realizes it is an illegal fighting ring. He notes they scout skilled fighters to make money. Jinwoo realizes he is in way over his head. Hound Dog is run by real gangsters. Meanwhile, Doyle finds Jijeon at the comic cafe. He asks if he knows how to ride a motorcycle. He needs a driver. He claims he sprained his ankle in gym class. He tosses him a black helmet. He promises Ariam he will bring her boyfriend back safely. She blushes bright red, claiming they are just friends. They head to an underground garage with a blue dual sports bike. Jijeon pops a wheelie right out of the garage while Doyle screams in excitement. Doyle warns him about a sharp turn ahead. He executes a flawless counter-steering drift. Doyle is thrilled. They halt on the sidewalk outside a building. It is the loan office. Jijeon removes his helmet in surprise. Doyle steps off holding a massive concrete brick. He rests it on his shoulder. He says if he drove himself, he would have turned back. This is his declaration of war. He is done holding it in. He glares up at the window with pure rage. He cannot let the man who ruined his friend get away with it. Jijeon decides to fully support him. Inside the office, Jinwoo tries to explain the invite to Gitae. He claims they thought the dropout gangster was the perfect opponent. Gitae scoffs at fighting in a kid's ring. Jinwoo insists the opponent is highly skilled. He pulls out his phone to show the viral video of the transfer student. Gitae stares in shock as he recognizes the face. It is the kid who was with Doyle. He breaks into a wild grin. The kid with the pretty fingers. The boss warns him not to get involved in a school fight. He submissively agrees. Suddenly, the concrete brick smashes right through the glass window. Glass splatters everywhere as it flies past his face. It slams onto the floor with a loud thud. They stare at the shattered glass in rage. They spot Doyle riding away on the bike. Gita glares down with a furious, dark expression. He swears at him under his breath.
It might have been a needless provocation, but I could tell how much courage was needed for it. By the way, Doyle's shaking hand clutched my shoulders. The fear of a big mountain pressing you down that you can't overcome. I know it too well.
Jinwoo is shocked that Gitae actually agreed to compete, but he sets conditions. He decides the place and time. Jinwoo stammers that they originally planned to fight in the gym. Gitae screams at him for thinking a dropout would fight in a school. Jinwoo immediately folds. He curses internally but accepts. Gitae asks if they know Kang Doyle. The crony explains he is a local bully expanding his power. Gitae smirks. So the punk has grown. He orders them to find out where Doyle lives. Jinwoo assumes Doyle has a debt to pay. Jijeon sweeps the dirt courtyard of the temple. Guman calls out to the monk. He came to offer prayers for the first day of the month. He turns around and spots Jia sweeping. He screams in total shock. They sit on the wooden porch. Guman thought he lived at the dorms. He is jealous of the permanent temple stay. He calls Singmin with the location. Singmin yells that he is on his way. He runs up the long mountain stairs panting heavily. He arrives and waves happily. Aram steps into the courtyard right beside him. He grinned and invited her along. She asks if she did well. Back in the hideout, a scooter engine revs loudly. A delinquent works on it, complaining about repair costs. They look up startled as a shadow looms over them. Gite puts brass knuckles on his fist. He excuses the weapons since he is outnumbered. They panic, demanding to know who he is. He smirks. He is here to collect debt. The guy shouts that he picked the wrong fight. Gide punches him directly in the face with the brass knuckles. A brutal front kick smashes another to the floor. He pummels them mercilessly. The entire gang lies beaten and bloody. He inspects the knuckles with a dark thrill. The effect is killer. He spots a massive muscular guy in a tracksuit and calls him a perfect sandbag. The giant cracks his knuckles in rage. Gide drops into a fighting stance with a dark smirk. The giant charges, throwing a heavy straight punch. He easily slips under it. A brass-knuckled counterpunch strikes the chin perfectly. The massive guy is thrown backward. He clutches his bloody nose, groaning. Gide smiles sadistically. The giant refuses to go down easy. In the back room, Doyle listens in silence as the commotion echoes. The giant is thrown against a steel pole with a heavy crash. Gite picks up a heavy steel pipe. He smashes it right into his face, spattering blood. The giant collapses unconscious. He looks down cold-eyed at Doyle. Doyle grips a metal pipe behind his back. He leaps up and swings it with everything he has. He screams for him to die. A loud metallic clang echoes. Doyle stares in absolute shock. Gide caught the swinging pipe with his bare hand. He holds it firmly, smirking down at him. He asks if he is prepared. Doyle trembles in pure terror. Gite grabs him by the hair, glaring intensely. He screams furiously, asking how he dared attack. He calls him the exact same trembling coward he always was. Doyle raises the pipe with shaking arms and yells for him to shut up. Gite states he will never beat him even in death. He reminds him he just stood by and watched the finger get cut off. Doyle hyperventilates in despair. Gide screams at him to kneel. The heavy pipe clatters to the floor. He falls to his knees. Gide smirks down. He tells him that is exactly where he belongs. He raises the brass knuckles. He smashes them directly into the face. He asks how he dared lift a weapon against a senior. He brutally pummels him into the ground. Doyle lies collapsed, groaning in blood. Gite demands he beg for mercy. He grovels on his hands and knees, completely broken. Back at the temple, Ariam serves food in the dining room. A visitor asks if she is new. She smiles and says it is her first time helping a friend. Jijeon and Sungmin wash dishes, noting how happy she looks. Guman carries a heavy water jar, complaining about the forced outdoor labor. The monk praises their hard work. They sit inside chatting as night falls. They ask if they can drop by on weekends to help out. Singmin jokes that Guman already looks like a monk apprentice with his terrible haircut. Shouts of fire echo from outside. They bolt up in alarm. Smoke and embers rise above the eaves as they rush out. Monks use extinguishers to spray the flames. The monk figures someone tossed a cigarette butt. He reassures the kids that everything is fine now. They breathe a sigh of relief. That could have been a disaster. A red hound dog sticker is pasted onto the sliding door. They realize it was not an accident. That sticker was just placed there. A battered Kang Doyle whispers through his tears. He is chained to a wall, bleeding out. Jinwoo sits in his car, confirming the match is set. He mentions Gite is the opponent. The crony on the phone confirms Gite is with a massive loan company run by the Jukdo Association. Jinwoo is shocked. The crony grins. They are technically under the same gang management. He says Gite wants to participate enthusiastically. Jinwoo realizes the parent gang is sending players to boost their game. He grins wickedly. They cannot turn this down. He orders him to promote the match heavily. He declares he is betting on the gangster, of course. Jijeon runs up the mountain trail in his tracksuit, training hard. He executes vertical high kicks against the mountain backdrop. He practices fast shadowboxing punches.
All right, whether it's gambling or anything else, I'll fight as much as I can, to the point where you can't threaten me. I'll rise up.
The friends run up the stairs, panting heavily. Arim steps up right behind them. Singmin claims they ran over at the crack of dawn out of worry. Guman promises to cheer for him with everything they have. Aram offers her earnest support. He turns his head with a calm, determined gaze. He is ready. They arrive at an abandoned brick warehouse that night. Singmin panics at the gloomy venue. Guman trembles, asking if he is okay. Our boy walks steadily forward without a hint of hesitation. The cronies wait outside the glowing doors. The pink-striped guy grins villainously. He actually showed up. Singmin angrily accuses them of setting the temple fire as a threat. They laugh dismissively, playing dumb. The crony tells him to forget the small stuff and focus on the match. He claims the fans have huge expectations because the opponent is not someone to take lightly. He orders the doors opened. A massive crowd of spectators cheers wildly around a fighting arena. They step into the roaring venue. Jung Gi-tae stands bare-chested in the center, showing off his carpback tattoo. He has been waiting. He assumes Doyle told him everything. Xiaobjan stares back with dark, enraged eyes. Aram recognizes the man immediately. Sungmin is terrified. It is a real gangster. Giddy cracks his knuckles, ready to finish what they started. But he claims he brought a special guest. He pulls back a dark curtain.
Go back, even now. Just go.
Kang Doyle is chained to wall shackles, bloody and beaten. He begs him to leave. Aram covers her mouth in horror. The boys stare in utter terror at the chained student. Gite laughs maniacally into his face. He reminds him he knows exactly why that bastard ended up like that. Dark blue aura consumes those glowing eyes. Gite asks if he wants to protect the guy. He taps his pants pocket. The key is right there. If he wins, he gets it. But neither of them are interested in money.
I will take 2 of your fingers.
The friends scream in horror. The stakes are insane. They desperately try to convince him to back out. The guy is a complete psycho. Aram pleads with wide, tearful eyes. He remembers Doyle shaking hands, gripping his shoulders on the bike ride. He remembers Pyungzu wetting his pants in absolute fear. Gite taunts him for being scared. This guy makes people tremble. He cannot hold it in anymore. He strips off his hoodie, revealing a black tank top. He is fighting. Gite screams in wild excitement. He steps into the center of the ring. The crowd roars. The announcer opens the betting. He hypes up the powerhouse of the dark world and the transfer student who defeated the champion. A digital countdown hits 0. Jinwoo watches the live stream, grinning at the 2,000 viewers. The board is set. Gide charges forward, driving a flying kick straight into the guard. He ducks low and slides across the floor. He sweeps low to launch a counter kick at the leg. It lands cleanly against the thigh. They reset and circle. The gangster roars and charges with a heavy punch. He crosses his arms to block it. Shockwaves burst from the impact. A rapid barrage of heavy punches hammers against the guard. He analyzes the style. The speed and power are above average, but there is no martial arts training. It is a pure street fighter, relying on raw physical stats. Gide screams in his face, asking if he is scared. He ducks smoothly. A sharp counterpunch drives straight through the guard into the midsection. It goes right through, but the gangster absorbs it without flinching and counters instantly. He mocks the hit, claiming it just tickled. The reaction speed is fast. He instinctively looks for openings. The natural physical abilities overwhelm everything. He delivers a sharp side kick directly into the chest. Gide just absorbs it and asks if he is giving him a massage. He thinks he can win with that. He unleashes a crushing counter-strike. He drives him backward with continuous heavy blows against the guard. The guy raises his tension with anger instead of flinching from hits. Songmin notices the guard is starting to waver. The opponent physique is overwhelmingly better. Jijan is trying to accumulate damage for a knockout, but the opponent is aiming for a one-punch victory with pure strength. If he gets hit, it is over. Aram turns to see Doyle chained to the wall, calling her name. She runs over to him. He tells her she has to stop the fight. She explains the threat against the temple. He had no choice. Doyle demands the key to free him. She agrees to somehow get it from the pocket. He warns her the guy is like a snake. A loud impact echoes inside the ring. A powerful upward chin strike connects perfectly. The boys cheer wildly from the sidelines. He winds back for a combination. He pummels him with rapid strikes. A barrage of body punches buries into the midsection. The gangster smirks. He was waiting for this. He wanted him to come closer. He roars that guarding will not work on the streets. A heavy counterpunch smashes directly into the face with a violent explosion. He lured him in on purpose. He screams that power is all that matters. A second crushing blow hits the jaw. The head snaps back. The friends scream in terror. Gide calls this the wall of reality. Another brutal punch connects. He pummels him with relentless street-style strikes, calling him a greenhouse plant. A crushing right hook shatters his cheek. He falls backward with bloodied eyes. A memory flashes. Gentle hands reaching out. Mireille tells him to remember this until the end.
I love you.
The eye snaps open. Red lightning crackles from the iris. A heart glows red with pulsing energy. He halts his fall mid-air. dark red aura flares violently. Aram screams for him to snap out of it. The sneaker digs firmly into the floor, stopping the momentum completely. Gide throws another heavy punch, but our boy blocks it effortlessly. The gangster is shocked. He absorbed it without moving an inch. He swings a left hook. Jijan ducks smoothly. A powerful knee strike drives straight into the chest. A lightning-fast counterpunch shatters the jaw. He pummels him with rapid double-handed combination strikes. They exchange heavy blows in the center of the ring. Blood spatters from the gangster nose. The crowd cheers wildly. The friends are in awe of the ferocious brawl. Gite breaks into a manic thrill-filled smirk. The dopamine is boiling up. He acknowledges the kid is better than expected. He charges forward, claiming he is still just school lunch. Jijan swivels dynamically, slipping under it. A powerful low uppercut buries into the solar plexus. Gide grimaces, clutching his stomach. He grins sinisterly. For gangsters, the moment they lose, they die. He charges again, swearing he will never let him win. He pummels the guard with a relentless storm of blows. The friends are terrified by the zombie-like intensity. Our boy sways and dodges every punch with fluid motion. Singmin realizes he is no longer guarding. He is dodging. A crushing counterpunch strikes the solar plexus again. Gide screams in rage, swinging wildly. He dodges it by inches. Sungmin points it out. Jijan lowered his guard entirely. Gite lunges with a heavy right hook. The glowing eye tracks the arm in slow motion. He slips inside the strike and drives a devastating counter uppercut straight into the chin. Wild punches are thrown, but after images dodge every single hit. Doyle watches in shock. He figured out the pattern. The moves are all meant to be one-punch knockouts, so the pattern is obvious. He saw through the punches and found the weakness. A crushing upward knee strike explodes into the face. The gangster is thrown backward through the air. He crashes violently into a flaming barrel near the edge of the arena. Burning debris scatters across the floor. The entire crowd stands in complete stunned silence. Gide stands up amidst the flames, holding a burning wooden torch. He roars madly through the fire. Our boy stands firm with red lightning crackling from his eye. Gite declares the real fight starts now. Game rules do not matter anymore. The friends shout that using a weapon is cheating. The announcer stammers in panic. He swings the torch and tells them to shut up. He points it at the crowd, threatening anyone to come out if they have the guts. He turns back to finish this. Jijan glares. It is not a game anymore. Gide charges, swinging the flaming torch downward. He ducks low under it. The torch thrusts continuously as he dodges backward. The gangster raises the fire high overhead, roaring not to mess with him. A high kick smashes right into his face despite the torch. A massive impact burst shatters his jaw. A lightning-fast downward heel strike follows immediately. He is blasted backward. He tumbles into the burning embers, groaning in pain. Our boy stands tall and unmoving over the fallen gangster. The spectators scoff. Is that all a gangster can do? So pathetic. A silver key slides out of the pants pocket onto the floor. Aram spots it instantly. Gide staggers back up, panting through bloody teeth. It is not over yet. He screams that he will not stop until one of them is finished. Jijan lunges forward at high speed. He slips inside the guard. A crushing straight punch shatters the cheek. He leaps into the air with a downward axe fist. A low body blow smashes the ribs. An uppercut sends blood flying. Gite collapses onto his knees in a cloud of smoke. He slumps face down, completely beaten. He mutters that he cannot lose to a loser.
You have no reason to feel wronged. You're only strong against the weak. You're just typical garbage. You must have felt superior after destroying other people's dreams, but that doesn't make you strong. You couldn't stand your own wretchedness. You'll continue living like that on the bottom for the rest of your life.
The gangster hand reaches stealthily toward his ankle. He pulls a sharp folding pocket knife out of his sock. He lunges up from behind, opening the blade. The spectators gasp in horror. Sungmin screams a warning. He charges with the knife, shouting that you never show your back to a gangster. He dives with the blade aimed directly at the chest. He screams that he will forever regret getting involved with him. He laughs hysterically, claiming he is the final winner. Jijan clutches his chest with trembling eyes as blood trickles down. A massive impact explosion cuts off the laughter. Bare-chested Kang Doyle swings the heavy wooden torch straight into his head. Heavy metal scissors clatter to the floor. Gide collapses unconscious and bleeding. Doyle stands over him, holding the torch. He turns to check on his friend. Guman and Sungmin are completely astonished. Aram freed him. Doyle asks if he can finish this up. He picks up the scissors and opens the blades. He mounts the fallen gangster and holds his hand down. Gite wakes up in a panic. He sweats in pathetic terror, begging him not to do it. Doyle looks down with cold, hollow eyes. He reminds him that he did it. Gite cries that he is different. He screams that he is in a different class. The heavy metal scissors close over the finger. He screams in blood-curdling agony. The horrified scream echoes into the dark night sky. Only 6% of you are actually subscribed. If you enjoyed this, consider liking and subscribing. It is free and you can change your mind whenever you want.